Today, we're building a fish tank based on the hit TV show Stranger Things.
We have just 1 week to turn this giant acrylic tank and thousands of dollars worth of materials into a spooktacular creation. We have no time to waste because we're installing it at a local Stranger Things pop-up. Hi, I'm Jamie, and over the last 2 years, I've built some crazy underwater creations, like this giant secret room fish tank and this everyday washing machine. I even installed it at a local laundromat with real fish. We got a call from downtown Chicago for our next project.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Mark has a themed arcade and currently has a Stranger Things pop-up. He needs us to make a fish tank for his customers.
When do we need it by?
Absolutely need it by Halloween, so you've got 1 week.
All right, we'll do our best.
Let's get back to the studio and dream up something big. And while I'm building, you should be on the lookout for these characters hidden somewhere in this video. If you don't know, Stranger Things is an 80s themed Netflix show based on the Upside Down.
And we're gonna make this for Mark's tank.
We're going to use 2 trees in our fish tank, one to represent Hawkins and the other to represent the Upside Down. Then we're going to add some awesome 3D prints and finishing touches.
You can do it, but you're gonna need a tall tank with really thick acrylic. It's gonna be 3 foot tall and over 600 pounds of water.
I'm going to enlist the help of my local acrylic team. We have a tight deadline and I'm just hoping they can get it done in time. While we wait for our custom upside down tank, let's build a mini version for these tiny ghost strips. This way we know what we're doing when it's 20 times the size.
This glass is just gonna be way too thin.
We're going to need to switch to acrylic. This is looking much better. I made this crossbeam to support the trees, but I don't love the way it looks. Instead, I'm going to use this acrylic bridge. The upside down is dark and devoid of light, so this Seachem fluorite black sand is perfect. And it's not the upside down without a demogorgon. This is fish safe and looks awesome. Up top, we're going to depict the town of Hawkins, green and full of life. Our unsuspecting shrimp will be unaware of what lurks below. After adding some prime and stability, we're ready to add our demo shrimp. Females produce around 20 to 30 eggs every 3 weeks. Can you see them? The next day, I received a call.
Our upside down tank is ready for pickup.
We now have just 4 days left to get this set up and installed at the arcade. You know I had to dress up as 11 in season 3. I couldn't turn down the chance to rock this romper.
Acrylic scratches very easily. You don't want customers touching it directly.
I need to be extra careful driving this back to the studio.
This tank costs over $1,000 and is super delicate.
There is absolutely no time to have another one made. Let's unbox it and make sure everything looks okay. I found these massive trees online. They have these beautiful tiny branches just like a real tree. But there's a problem. These are super heavy and it's going to be extremely challenging to secure this upside down. Hopefully this special acrylic glue will cement them down. Now we wait.
This glue didn't work. They're just too heavy.
I'm going to switch to silicone. This will need some time to cure, but hopefully it works. And while the tree's dry, I want to introduce you to a new member of the crew. You may remember that last week we made a temporary setup for my axolotl Lucy. She's back in her big tank and with her new friend Lemon.
This is the first time Lucy's had a tank made, so I'm a little nervous.
At first, they completely ignored each other, but after a few hours, they became inseparable.
So stay tuned for updates on Instagram.
I just got a notification that the fish are ready. Let's go pick them up. I love checking out the fish at my local fish shop.
Check out these Oscars. They're beautiful, but they can be aggressive. These koi can get up to 14 inches long.
So these are just not going to work for our Stranger Things setup. I ended up going with these mollies, corydoras, and a few nerite snails. Let's get them back to the studio.
These black mollies give birth to live babies, just like humans.
And these nerite snails are amazing members of the cleanup crew. They'll keep Hawkins sparkling clean. These are albino corydoras. They're bottom dwellers and are a schooling fish. This means they swim in a big group. # squad goals. Over in the office, Adam just made a breakthrough.
I found this awesome 3D model of Vecna. It's a super complicated print, but if we can pull it off, it's gonna look amazing in the big tank.
Let's get it set up and printing. Hopefully this doesn't scare the fish.
Great, it looks like the print already failed. Let's give this another try.
We'll check back in 24 hours.
While we wait for our print, I'm giving away another Wet Pets Aquarium kit.
It comes with everything you need for your first fish tank, including the Seachem Sure Start Kit.
Real people just like you win every single week. For your chance to win, make sure you're subscribed and comment below.
Before we finish setting up the tank, we need a stand. Adam said the upside down is going to weigh over 600 pounds, so this needs to be rock solid. In just 2 days, this thing is going to be set up in an arcade with real people walking around. I'm getting nervous. But for the front piece, I have a super special surprise. I have a friend in Chicago who has a warehouse full of crazy machines like this CNC. We're going to create a custom sign to affix to the stand. Back at the studio, we're making great progress. This black paint is going to give our stand a dark vibe. I'm even going to add this red film and these red LED lights.
Wait till we turn these on. It's gonna look insane.
All that's left to do is water test the tank. We don't want any surprises when we're setting up at the arcade. It's the next day and the tank is still standing. Vecna finished printing. Check it out. It didn't print perfectly. There's a bit of a stringy mess everywhere. He's also a little broken. Let's superglue these vines back on.
This is looking really cool.
Now we have to get everything to the arcade in one piece. But before we go, let's prepare the tank.
We can't forget about Vecna.
Everything down here looks just like the show. Now for Hawkins. I'm going to use this Seachem Flourish glue to transform our bonsai tree into a living being.
The tree is starting to dry up. We need to get a move on.
I'm even going to add this tiny Max from season 4. Let's get everything back in the tank. Wow, this looks awesome. I'm going to use this plastic wrap to seal in the moisture while we transport the tank.
The clock is really ticking now.
Let's get moving. We need to get across town and set up our fish tank so we can surprise Mark. We have just under 1 hour to get this ready for its debut. Phew, it fits in its spot perfectly. But we have one issue.
I just assumed an arcade would have power everywhere.
I'm going to have to run to the store for an extension cord. We now have less time than I planned. Let's turn on our Seachem tidal filter and add in our prime and stability. This will instantly set up our tank so we can add our fish. The corridors immediately made their way to Vecna. They're not scared at all.
What do you think? How do we do?
It's amazing. You exceeded all expectations. This is so cool.
Wait, I have one more surprise. I can't wait to see what the customers think. Let's add this red velvet rope to give our fish some space. Time for some trivia.
First question. Who is this?
Steve Jobs.
No!
Max.
Winner! What decade is Stranger Things based in? 80s! Just made the upside down in a fish tank. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and I'll see you here next week.